This is Checkmate. Introduction, Game 1. The Evans Gambit accepted, New York, 1857. Paul Morphy versus Amateur. Paul Morphy playing without the Queen's Rook. Pawn, King 4. Pawn, King 4. Knight, King, Bishop 3. Knight, Queen, Bishop 3. Pawn, Bishop 4. Pawn, Bishop 4. Pawn, Queen, Knight 4, the Evans Gambit. Bishop takes pawn. Pawn, Bishop 3. Bishop, Rook 4. Pawn, Queen 4. Pawn takes pawn. White castles. A century ago, this opening was played as automatically as the Queen's Gambit declined is played nowadays. Knight, Bishop 3. Experience has taught us that in this position the only correct move for black would have been bishop to knight 3. Bishop rook 3. Bishop knight 3. There is, even at this point, no satisfactory move. The only one which allows black further resistance would have been pawn queen 3. From now on the game proceeds like clockwork. Queen knight 3. Pawn, Queen 4, giving back the pawn to parry the threat of bishop takes pawn, checkmate. Takes pawn on f7, checkmate. King pawn takes pawn. Queen knight rook 4. With this simultaneous attack on white's queen and bishop, black hopes to get rid of the dangerous bishop. Rook, King 1, check. Bishop, King 3. Starting with a very pleasant combination. White, who is already playing minus a rook, now sacrifices his queen. Pawn takes bishop. Knight takes queen. This sacrifice should have been declined, but in any case, black's position is hopeless. Pawn takes pawn, check. King, Queen 2. Bishop, King 6, check. King, Bishop 3. Knight, King 5, check. King, Knight 4. Bishop, Bishop 4, check. King, Rook 4. Bishop, Knight 4, check. King, Rook 5. Pawn takes knight, mate. Is there an infallible recipe for such mates? We do not think so. In this example, we have just given the king was collected at its initial square and gradually dragged to the other side of the board where it was mated. One thing can be said, however. An experienced player feels instinctively that positions such as the one in this diagram are full of latent possibilities. Since all the moves are forced, and since there are no variations to complicate the line of play, it is relatively easy, with some practice, to foresee the consequence of the sacrifice and to calculate the number of moves necessary to bring about the mate. And even if he is not able to foresee the whole mating process, a good player can feel, quote-unquote, that the king is about to embark on a journey from which he will not come back.